Hey guys, firefighter slash AEMT Noah back again with Wisconsin Fire Tactics. Today we're going to go over some examples of some advanced RIT rescue techniques. I recommend everyone watch my first video titled RIT Basics / Refresher to get a baseline of how RIT teams set up and soften the structure. This video is more so of specific drills for those uncommon RIT scenarios. This video can either be a one-off video to watch and learn new tactics, or be used as a preview for a practical session like we're doing in Hall. Learning objectives. So for learning objectives, we're going to learn about the origins of the Denver drill, as well as how to perform it. Bailout tactics, both window and ladder. And some through-the-floor rescues, both interior and exterior. For Hall, on our next training night at our training house, we'll be going over these skills with individuals, and they'll be tested on to make sure that we can do them proficiently. I'm going to read an excerpt from the fireengineering.com's Mayday Monday that gives us the origin story of the Denver drill. On September 28th, 1992, Denver firefighter by the name of Mark Langvart, I apologize if I'm not getting his name correct, responded with Truck 16. They found fire in several locations of a two-story commercial printing business. During the search of the second floor, Mark became separated from his partner and could not exit via the interior stairs. The incident commander saw a light shining out of a window on the second floor and sent a crew to go check on it. The crew found firefighter Langvart unable to rescue himself in a very tight space with a high windowsill. Crews repeatedly attempted to rescue Mark through the window. The rescue went on for almost an hour, when finally a second plan of removal was tried. After 55 minutes, firefighter Langvart was removed and transported to the hospital. He died from CO poisoning. Some of the major lessons learned that led to the transformation of our modern-day RIT are: have a standby fresh rescue team, RIT. The standby team should develop several rescue plans. Practice removal techniques in confined spaces, which is what we're going to be doing at our practical session here coming up. And bring an air supply for members in trouble. These things seem obvious to us by today's standards, but they were lessons we had to learn by this unfortunate tragedy. According to sources, Mark's location was so tight because of full filing cabinets. Modern-day Denver drill props reenact this by having a width of 24 inches and a window height of 42 inches. This video by the city of Franklin, Tennessee gives us a great example of how a Denver drill is performed.
You guys ready? Let's go. All right, so we have one firefighter entering through the window. The windowsill is at 42 inches from the ground. The width is 28 inches in between, so what he's doing is he's coming in to provide packaging for this firefighter who's down in a really confined space, essentially. He's going to do what we call packaging, where he's taking the waist strap and essentially turning his pack into a harness. The second firefighter in just one moment is going to be able to get behind him and assist him in lifting him up, and the goal is to get him back out through the same window they came in. So in doing so, they loosen up the waistband of that downed firefighter. He's experienced some kind of medical emergency or running out of air or whatever the case, but we're not going to waste a lot of time. We're going to get him outside of this IDLH, which is a immediately dangerous situation for life and health. As you see, he's lifting him up. Get his shoulder straps nice and tight. Our second rescuer is in, and we'll have a third rescuer at the window simulating that they would be at a ladder waiting for them and they can communicate. So talk to each other, guys, while you're in here.
You ready?
Tell them what you need.
I'm lifting up.
Work together. He's going to go ahead and lift him up by the shoulder straps. While our second rescuer is underneath, and he's going to kind of help support and push up.
3, 2, 1.
Let's go, ready, go, guys. Let's remember our simple commands.
Ready? Go.
Keep going. Now what you can do is get under those legs if you need to.
Tyler, you ready? Ready. Ready. Go.
Good. There he goes, and then let's get some help on the window, guys, as he comes out. Good. Now you need to get out as well.
So these guys make it look very easy, but I'll tell you from experience, on a hot 90-degree day, or even, heaven forbid, we have to do this in heavy fire conditions, it can be very, very taxing, which is why we're going to be practicing this a lot at our next practical portion.
You guys ready?
So this is a video that we here at Wisconsin Fire Tactics posted that shows some basic window bailout tactics. I won't go into too much detail because the video explains a lot itself. So we'll watch this.
Hey guys, Firefighter Noah here today, again with Wisconsin Fire Tactics. Today we're going to talk about window bailouts. This is a skill that we teach all of our firefighters here on my department, and I wanted to share some knowledge and pass it along to you. Not everyone has a personal bailout system like myself. They can be kind of pricey for departments to purchase, but I think it's a piece of gear that if you can get, it can help save your life potentially. So, because we don't have a window prop here, we like to use this ladder that we have. This does a pretty good job of representing in between studs, as well as a window. So, essentially, this technique is going to be used when you don't have a hose line, and the fire is so intense that you need to get out of the structure immediately, or you're gonna perish. Or potentially there's a partial structure collapse, and you can't get out the same way you came in. So the only way you can get out is going out a window, right? So for that, hopefully you have a tool. If not a Halligan bar, I carry some personal hand tools on my gear here, on my bumper pants, that you can use as well. But essentially what you're going to do is...
And before I play the rest of this video, I'll mention, because I didn't in this video, you don't need to have a tool to do a bailout necessarily. If you can get to a stud, you can just wrap that rope right around the stud and use that as your anchor point.
Hey guys, Firefighter Noah here today, here on my bumper pants, that you can use as well. But essentially what you're going to do is pretend that this is drywall right here. So you're going to take your Halligan, you're going to punch just a small little hole through that drywall, and you're going to set it down as far as you can. That's going to be your anchor point for your personal bailout. Another thing you can do to set your anchor point is, let's say it's a construction that's not fully built yet, you don't have drywall, you can put your anchor point between the two studs here and put it as low to the ground as possible. And now this is something you can clip your carabiner to. Finally, if it's a brick building, depending on the size of the window, you're not going to be able to punch through masonry with a Halligan. So, depending on the window size, you can either put it right up against the window, try and get that upper and lower portion, or sideways. and then just using force to kind of hold it in place. Or if you have a New York hook or a pike, that's even better, because that can give you that same anchorage point on larger windows. So this is my personal bailout system. I created this myself. Traditional pre-built bailout systems can run upwards of $500 or more, and not everyone can afford those pre-built systems. So I put this together for probably close to 150 bucks. Is it NFPA compliant or OSHA compliant? No. Could it save my life? Absolutely. So this is what I have here. The main piece of this bailout system is going to be this piece to help slow my descender. It's a Sterling F4. I think this is the most expensive part. This costed me about 100 bucks. And then the rope, making sure it's a good climbing rope that can hold the appropriate weight, and a couple carabiners. On my pants, our department issues turnout pants that have these belt loops in it. I purchased this ladder belt attachment for these pants. These costed me $50 used, and so I can use this as just a normal belt, or I can attach a ladder belt point to one of these hooks here. Okay, so I keep my bailout system in my left pant pocket. I'm right-hand dominant. Wherever you keep it, whatever works for you. I keep 50 feet of rope, and I have it tied into a figure 8 on top here to hook my carabiner into. So essentially, if I deem that this is life or death, I need to get out of the structure now, I'm going to punch my hole and I'm going to set my anchor point. For this example, we're going to say that this is my anchor point. This is my Halligan or my New York hook or whatever I'm carrying with. I attach it to my belt, which doubles as a ladder belt. And then I'm going to, just for example's sake, I'm going to just climb up here. And I'm just going to lock in my carabiner. So now this can support all my weight here. I can sit here all day, hands free. When I need to descend, I simply just barely pull down on the descender, and now I can repel myself down that window all the way here. Obviously, this isn't going to work for 4-story structures, but I'm going to be able to get quite a bit away from the hazardous area. And even if I run out of rope, like I said, I could sit here all day long waiting for someone to grab a ladder. So, thanks for watching today's video on window bailouts. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions. Thanks.
All right. So moving on. This next slide here is a video by Fire Spotlight, and they do a really good job demonstrating ladder bailouts. Once you practice these ladder bailouts, they are super fun to do, super easy. I wouldn't recommend doing it on the fire ground unless it's life or death, but it's actually a pretty enjoyable training.
This is called the hook 2 grab 4. So first thing I'm going to do when I come out of this window on a head first ladder bail, this is truth, not funny, I'm going to make sure that there's a ladder there. Because the ladder that was in there when you just came in there could be flipped over somewhere else. Make sense? I visualize a ladder. That's important. Then I'm going to put my hand in the first hole it can go into. And it's always this one, okay? So it's this one. And there's my hook 2 because this elbow here is going to hook on the second one. Then I'm going to slide this beam down until I get to the 4th. So I come out, boom. I hook 2, I slide this, I grab that. Now I'm just hooked here. Very important, your leg is last to leave. So exaggerate that. It slows you down. Come out, you come here, and okay? I'll do it again. Ladder, am I there? Hook 2, grab 4, leg, oh. America.
So the hook 2, grab 4, like he was saying, you're gonna hook underneath the second rung below the window. You're gonna grab the 4th rung down from the window, and you're gonna rotate your body sliding down. As we mentioned in our first RIT video, when we as the RIT team soften the structure, we should be putting ladders under every window we can for this exact reason. For our metro fire incidents, which for those who don't know is a fire district in central Wisconsin that's comprised of 3 separate departments, we encourage to remove every ladder from every department's truck to make sure we're being as safe as possible in case a bailout situation were to ensue. So these next 2 slides are heavily related to each other. The scenario is going to be when someone falls through the floor into a basement. For those who don't know, basement fires are very difficult scenarios to deal with. As you'll see in this first video, this house that this department is training on's basement is completely flooded, which adds a whole new dynamic to the RIT team that the RIT team has to deal with. And this could be very common depending on how much water we're putting on the structure beforehand, what type of basement they have, etc. Normally, basements are one of the most hazardous places a firefighter can be because of the lack of egress and potential for collapse. This video shows how a rescue can be made without even entering the structure by cutting a window through the exterior of a structure and lowering a ladder to the RIT team to enter. Video, but a couple points that they made out that I think are very good is you should have multiple saws in case the one fails. I can't tell you how many times I've been on a fire ground, I've used a saw and the chain comes loose or anything else. That saw could very easily get caught up on a rug, an area rug, if there happened to be a rug behind that window. So make sure you have a knife to be able to cut back. You're going to be cutting through electrical wires, possible plumbing, who knows what's behind that wall. So making sure that electric is shut off as early as possible. Alright, this next video talks about interior rescues. This is another one on our next training day. We're going to be really hitting on the hose, specifically hose rescue through the floor. So this video is by Fire Engineering. talks about rescuing conscious and unconscious firefighters.
Hello, I'm Paulie Capo and welcome to Training Minutes. Today we're going to be performing a subfloor rescue of an unconscious and conscious firefighter with a hose, and an unconscious and conscious firefighter with rope. As we learned in past Training Minutes, the ability to take doors off hinges, today we're going to utilize those doors to go around the hole to disperse the weight of our rescuers over a possibly degraded floor assembly. Let's watch the firefighters achieve the rescue via the hose line. In this instance, the downed firefighter is unconscious, so a rescuer needs to be lowered into the hole. Utilizing minimal equipment, a bite is created in the hose and it is lowered down. The rescuer then slides the hose control, as he or she might not be able to see the ground. It is beneficial to place the hose around the armpit level of the unconscious firefighter to allow the most slimmest fit through the hole. Also, securing the hose above the air pack will eliminate an unwanted space that will occur if the hose slips during the haul when the system transitions from a horizontal position to a vertical one. There are many ways to secure the hose together that would be successful. Just make sure that it is tight as possible. In this case, we are using a girth hitch around one side and clipping it on itself on the other. Make sure the haulers pull from opposite sides of the hole if possible. This will allow the firefighter to ascend up the center of the opening and not fight the edge. The technique to raise the rescuer is the same as the conscious subfloor rescue. If that was the case, then no rescuer needs to be lowered into the hole. In this...
All right. So, a couple key takeaways. They talked about removing doors and putting it around that hole to stabilize. Additionally, if you don't have a hose line with you, you're going to be tying a hasty harness of sorts to rescue that unconscious victim, which we have videos on here at Wisconsin Fire Tactics demonstrating. This is the end of the PowerPoint video. For those of you who are not on our department, I hope you learned something. Feel free to comment with a question, or if I should add anything in the future. For the people on our department reviewing all these skills, make sure you review all these skills because you will be testing on them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the fire ground.